Hello boys and girls, welcome to BenchART. I'm for Classic, and for today what I do have in it is like a game developed by GameBar, and it is using Unity Engine 2019. So let's take a look on the settings that I use to run the game with an MX130 or a GT940 MX with 2GB GDDR5, and it's just 720p using the low presets. And the game have a very variable frame rate, so it depends a lot on the areas that you are. But at some points, my minimum frame rate was 25, there was stuttering here and there, and there are some other moments, depending how much shadows that you have, for example, where it even reaches 60 frames per second or even above. So the demandingness of this game depends a lot of where you are. So looking for the requirements, these guys ask for an i5 from the 4000 generation, 8 gigs of RAM, and the GTX 760. So I will show you for the rest of the video a little bit of gameplay, but I want to still comment a little bit about the performance. So, like I was telling you, the most demanding moments that I did find in this game is where you find more shadows in this graphic card. It is specifically those moments where you find more shadows or more vegetation. It's where the game will be more demanding. Alright, so it's not really the village, it's really the shadows and basically the rest. Now the thing is, despite this game sometimes drops below 30 frames per second, I think it's a non-issue, since this game it is kind of a story-driven game, so you won't be shooting anyone, fighting anyone, so it's not really that exciting in that regard. And you can take all the time in the world. The only thing that might be more complicated with a lower frame rate is really just driving, but even this is very specific because you won't be getting damage if you hit with a truck or if you hit another car or a person or some obstacles. I mean, so there is really no concernings in here regarding gameplay. It's just a story-driven game. There is nothing in here that it's going to go wrong for you just because you have a low frame rate here and there. So basically the game just runs fine. Alright, the low settings doesn't look that bad. The only thing that it is noticeably worse with the low settings is really just the draw distance, and the draw distance overall. I mean, it includes the shadows and the vegetation. Sometimes it is a little bit close. Also, the resolution of the shadows is really low. There is pixelation all over the place in these shadows. But honestly, aside from that, it does look pretty good, and you still get the full package regarding textures and most of the environmental quality. So you won't be losing that much for when playing the game at low settings. Alright, so guys, I think that's all that I want to talk about the performance, but let's talk a little bit about this game. Like, what the hell is this? Why I'm covering this? So for starters, in case you want to try out this game, there is a demo version on Steam, so you just need to go to Steam and download the demo if you want to try it. At least by the time of this video it was available. Let's hope it continues this way, at least for you to try out the game. So, what is this game about? It's a little bit complicated to say, alright? Let's start with the story. So it's 1986, you are Meredith, you are a kind of a girl that lives in the big city. You moved to the big city in the past because you wanted a nicer job, and so it seems like Meredith works in programming, and you just finished your job and you want to take 2 weeks in vacation, and you decide to spend your vacation in your hometown, the town where you kind of grown up. So you get back there throughout 2 weeks, so you have 2 weeks of gameplay, let's say this way. So each day you work as a parcel distributor, so your father needs to rest and take some time out, and you decide to take its job and start to distribute the mailing and the parcels, you know, all the stuff to all the inhabitants of that little town. Because it's relaxing. I'm not really sure if I was on vacation that I would be want to work, but I do understand that she have done that just to help her father, and because it is relaxing to go back to the town instead of the work on the big city. And since in the year it is 1986, I mean, There is no cell phone, there is no internet at these small villages, so it's a much more simpler life. It's something that it is clear to see that Meredith kind of misses the simplified life with no stress and with no the agitation of the big city, and it is noticeable that she misses the old town and all things are simpler. All right, so what can you do on this game? Well, sightseeing. All right, the graphics are good, like I said, and there is a small open world which you can traverse with your van. All right, so you can drive around, deliver the mail. You can use the autopilot if you want, if you don't want to drive it. But yeah, let's just drive. All right. Eventually, you will encounter old friends after 22 years. All right, and they will recognize you, and eventually you can get out with them as soon as you finish the work by that day. So you can hang out with them. You can help your neighbors, stay home, read a book. All right. And eventually, you can even romance with some characters. All right, I'm not going to disclose each one are them, but you can even get to a romance. And by the end of the game, you will need to kind of decide if you want to stay on the big city and continue your job, your stressful job, or you want to get back to the simpler life on the lake. So eventually, this game it's kind of just a story, alright? There is nothing really super exciting like Life is Strange, where something is going on, and something is about to, Arcade Bay is going to get destroyed or something. No, it's nothing like that. It's just a simpler story of a person that kind of gets back to its own town and starts to encounter old friends and stuff like that. Now, what I'm really disappointed about this game, as far as I've played, is that conversations are small, alright, and sometimes they are not really that interesting in my point of view. And animations are really bad. The characters, it seems like they have no special animation. For example, at some point, a lady delivers a cat to you. You barely see her grabbing the cat or something. Everything is very static, alright? Every character is very static. Sometimes they don't even move. They kind of pan out the camera and put it back again to the character so that the character gets to a different position. So a lot of animation is missing. So the focus on this game, it is clearly the good things. It is really the graphics and possibly the story. Alright, because when it comes to animations, there isn't too much to talk about. Alright, that's that. It's a super laid back game. It's something for you to relax. There is nothing really exciting going by. So it's a game that you need just simply to relax. And more, it's probably the most relaxing game I ever played, ever. Because there is really nothing going by. Alright, that's something that you should know. So on Metacritic, the game scored 73. On Steam, the game scored 81%. And the game cost $19.99. So some people don't think that this money is deserved for this game, alright? Some people do think that it is. I think it's a perfect game for Xbox Game Pass, alright, if you ask me. So eventually, if this game gets Xbox Game Pass release, then I think you should play it, because in case you really want to relax or something, alright? So I think that's all that I want to talk about Lake. Hope you keep enjoying the rest of the video. In case you don't, well, just close it. Thank you a lot for watching, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
I'm sorry, but I don't really have time for this right now. Can't get stuck on the moon on my own, and I have to get ready for work. See you around, Em.
Good to see you, Kay. Evans!
Commander Grace, hold up! You'll never guess what I just found.
You can say that again. Hey, Mom and Dad have new neighbors. Ziegler, huh? Don't think they ever mentioned them.
Carol, dear, so glad you could come by. Oh, it's quite the emergency.
What's wrong, Miss Jenkins?
It's poor little Mortimer. He's fallen ill, I think. 1 minute he was full of life. The next he just wasn't.
I mean, I'm not a vet, but he looks fine to me.
Well, fact is you're not a vet. Are you? You know who knows about animals, though? Is Mr. Mackey. He runs the old bait shop by the lake. Could you take Mortimer to him?
Sure, I'll get right on it. Here, little kitty, come on.
Wonderful! Be nice to Meredith, Mortimer. Don't shed too much hair in her van now.
Bye, Miss Jenkins.
Bye, Meredith. See you soon, Mortimer.
That's lighter than I thought. Hello, sir. Parcel for you. I hope I'm not disturbing, but here's a parcel for you.
1 minute, I'm busy.
Okay, sir.
That a parcel for me?
Yes, sir. Oregon Trail Motel.
You can just put it on the counter.
All right. Have a nice day.